City Manager.
Honorable Mayor and City Council. Talked a little bit earlier, City Manager report on really where we were at with department heads. And I know we talked a little bit about kind of form and recommendation. What I had been envisioning, and the reason why I wanted this is an information discussion item, is just kind of walk through what I had been thinking, and that was part of the recommendation would be a listing of the candidates, and then ultimately the selection, and then what the plan would be to offer that individual from a salary perspective based on what our approved levels are. Also, the individual that I would be recommending would also attend the council meeting and be available for any questions or discussion with the council. I think previously I hired 3 department heads. That was how I had approached it in the past. And I think as Rod shared earlier some of his thoughts too. I just really wanted to get that out there because what I didn't want to have happen is make a recommendation on the October 1st meeting and then council come back and say, well, we were really envisioning something different happening. So just asking if everybody is comfortable with that type of approach.
You're saying yes.
Yep.
That's it.
Right.
All right, next one's me. Discuss the progress of the grant policy and procedures necessary for federal and state grant funding. It's a long, yeah. The grant policies and provisions are going to have to be updated from a city perspective, and so wanted to get this in front of council on this meeting just so you could see the depth behind it. One of the nice things with the city is we're in a good cash position. We've got some opportunities like we talked about earlier with the Parks Group going after some grants. We've also been successful with TxDOT Aviation on that large amount of monies. We will have some other ones that will come up too in firming up this grant policy moving forward. So I just wanted to really get that in your hands more than anything. And if there were any questions as we're continuing to noodle through and put together a finalized product for council review. Certainly don't have to feel compelled to say anything this evening, but please reach out to me or Cynthia as you have an opportunity to review this if there are any questions or concerns you have.
So I have a couple of questions,
Sure.
as you might expect. Having executed the $3 million grant with TxDOT Aviation, when do we have to have this in place to be able to pass our single audit, which we will do this year for fiscal year 19?
The plan is to have this in place before the end of the year, before the end of this calendar year.
And that meets the TxDOT requirements for single audit? Okay.
We'll be fine. I would have been worried if we had to have it done before the end of this fiscal year.
Right, that was my question.
Because there's no way, unless we call a special meeting.
And I've got a number of comments. Rather than hold everything, I'll shoot them to you. I know before you come on board, I reviewed this with council as a draft that came out of the COG.
Okay.
And clearly it's been updated, but there are some initial items that I think we can support. I'll shoot you over, please.
Thank you.
Okay, any more? Ms. Guerrero.
Is to discuss the water for the country club, and I have the president here, Magoo, the board. I'm gonna give him a little update, I also sent council, had sent the same council the letter.
My name is Joe Torres, and I'm president of Alpine Country Club. I've been a member there, gosh, since 1969. Graduated from high school in '69. I played golf when I was in high school. And one of the I guess highlights of my golfing career is that we won state when I was a freshman in high school. First state title up on everyone. But I've been part of that country club since I was a little boy. I used to caddy there, and ever since then, I know that the country club has been a vital part of Alpine, Texas. It's been there. The clubhouse belongs to the members. The golf course, part of number 9, green, and the fairway belong to the country club, to the house. The rest belongs to the city of Alpine. And we leased it, and we've leased it before for like 99 years. Okay? And we've always maintained that golf course. We've had help before from when we used to have county commissioners on the board, we used to have city councils on the board. They used to help. We've gotten away from that. But I've been more glad to get some of you guys involved as members of the country club and on the board. But my reason here is it takes a lot to run a country club. The maintenance part, like in the Cedar Park here, takes a lot. We have our golf course is like 7,000 feet of grass. It's over a mile. It's over about a mile and a half. You look at it, fairways, greens, rubs, that we have to maintain for the public. It's a public course. People see it as an Alpine Country Club, but it's always been a public course. Ever since I was a little boy, people are welcome to come pay green fees. Back then you had to walk and hire a caddy, but now we have golf carts, and we get some new golf carts at the end of this month. They're coming in, hopefully at the end of this month. It's a service we provide for people who want to come play, so they don't have to walk. They pay a little green fee. Our green fees are $15 on the weekdays and $20 for the golf carts. Okay, they're $25 on the weekends for green fees, and still the cart rental is $20 for 18 holes, which is very reasonable, very, very, very reasonable. Compared to other clubs in the area, you're looking at $80, $90, $100 just to go play 18 holes. And we generate a little bit of revenue, but we pay for a lot of water for the golf course. And the golf course is really a part of Alpine. It's part of the city of Alpine, based on the lease that we've had for years. Okay, and it's getting, like right now, it's getting difficult for us to maintain. We've been getting affluent water from the sewer plant, but a lot of times there's problems, chemical, machinery, pumps that break down, that we have to use city water to water the whole golf course. And that's becoming an expense to us when we should be getting free sewer water, affluent water. And we don't water with that water, but we got play out there. We water at night when the golf course is closed. But when we don't get it, we've been having to use city water. We have a pump up there, but we also have water that's being brought into the city, which we have a water main. But I would like to just let you guys know that it's not only a golf course, it's not only a country club, Everybody's welcome up there. We provide services for the city. We've had fundraisers for people that are in need of financial assistance for whatever medical reasons they may have. We provide a service to Alpine so they can raise funds to help themselves, And then we let the country club out to various people, organizations to have meetings. We have an open door policy. We invite everybody. We want to be part of Alpine, and we are part of Alpine. And we've had services after funeral there for people that can't find a place together after the services, because they have a lot of people. We've offered our clubhouse free of charge, so they can come eat and get with friends. We're a big part of Alpine. It's there, a lot of people don't realize it, because they don't play golf, but it's, we rent out the clubhouse for parties, you know, and we charge a minimal fee. But that's for us to maintain power and water and clean the bathrooms. And we make a little money off of that just to cover our expenses. And it's open for everybody. You know, our country club is not a private, like a lot of people think it's a private club. Nobody can show up there unless you're a member. That's not true. It is not true at all. Has never been true. Like I said, I've been a member since '69, and we've always had an open door policy. Saul Ross, at one time, I played golf for Saul Ross when they had a golf team. We partnered with Saul Ross. We gave discounts, and still do give discounts to Saul Ross students to come out and play. You know, we let the golf team from the high school come out there and play. We charge a minimal fee for them, but it's nothing compared to some of these other golf courses. And we do a lot of stuff for the city of Alpine, and what I'm here for is just, you know, like we have 12 tournaments throughout the year that we provide for anybody to come out and play. But like I said, we also have partnered with Saul Ross and let them come and bring the Saul Ross OEXs come. A lot of people from out of town. My point is, we have a lot of people that come from out of town, and it's like this, people here from the airport want to go. Planes flying here, they got to stay somewhere. You know, they got to go eat somewhere. You know, they got to buy a shirt. They got to. So Alpine benefits. Anytime people come from out of town to Alpine benefits. And it's not $10, $20, it's millions of dollars. Alpine Country Club, in our tournaments, we provide a lot of income for Alpine. Motel, sales tax, stores, you know, we're an asset to Alpine, Texas, where a lot of people realize they're not. You know, and we bring in a lot of cash to the city throughout the year. Well, with all that, I would like to request from the city council if they would consider giving us the free water to maintain the golf course, which is part of Alpine. It belongs to the city. The golf course grounds belong to the city of Alpine. We've been maintaining them. We've done a good job. I know there's a lot of talk, but I tell you one thing: unless you go out there, mow grass, water, be part of there, come at night. We've had a lot of volunteers come help. That's how we have been able to stay afloat. And we're still going to continue to do that. But if we could get a little help from the city, it would make our life a little bit easier up there. We're having a board meeting tomorrow night. Eric Zimmer is more than welcome to show up, and I think he's going to be there so he can see our work operations, look at our budget. But we have several, we employ a club manager and club superintendent, 2 people out on the golf course. We have 3 girls that work there. So we employ a lot, we employ maybe 10, 15 people on any given time that are city people, you know? And so we have salaries, we have wages we have to pay, we have taxes we have to pay. And if we could get some water, that would really help our situation and still provide benefit for Alpine and still generate income for Alpine. We generate a lot of income, you know? I wish I had brought figures, but I don't have any figures. But just by the tournaments that we have every year, throughout the year, and fundraisers, when we have a fundraiser for people, they have friends, people come to help with a fundraiser, they come from out of town. They stay in hotels, they eat in restaurants, they buy our gas, they buy our Coke, they buy our beer, they buy our, whatever Alpine has to offer, they buy. On any weekend, if you guys run around town, and then there's events here in Alpine, not only at the country club. You go to Stripes and try to get gas on Sunday afternoon, you ain't gonna find any. Monday morning, there's no gas. You go look at their shelves, they're empty, you know? And that's people coming in, getting ready to leave, they buy, you know? And we bring a lot of those people in here. Lots of those people in here. All the motels are full, we've had to change, this year we had to change one tournament, the date, which was the 4th of July, because the motels were full, and we couldn't keep our people that were coming from out of town to play, so to accommodate them, we had to change our date. So July was a good month for Alpine, you know, we brought in a lot of money. And all I'm asking is, please help us.
How much water are you looking at?
Well, I didn't bring a water bill, but, or except our last month's bill was $7,000 almost. That's a big chunk of money, too.
And don't you get the water at a prorated or discount on your
Well,
contract you have with the city?
We do, but not enough. Still pay a lot.
Councilor Olivas.
Sir, how are you promoting your open door policy for people to know that you provide these services at the clubhouse?
Well, we advertise on flyers throughout town. We advertise.
Radio, newspaper? both
It's
English
it's mostly word of mouth.
language? Word of mouth.
But everybody knows, believe me. You know? We've even let the city go have a town hall meeting up there. You know, we'll be charged them, okay? It's there, you know, and a lot of people are using the community center also, but they've done close the community center. The Alpine Community Center is closed now. They're going out of business, the building's up for sale. Ours is open.
What are we allowed to do? There's the desire, then there's the legalities, because I know we can't give it away for free.
Right.
So what's the legislation?
So let me just throw this out there as a twist, because I have been thinking about this a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I've had a couple folks from the country club and approach me as well as Magoo. One of the things that other cities have done when they have an asset like a golf course is the city, and in our case, we do own the property except for a small portion of hole number 9, but the city actually maintains the golf course, the playing, so the fairways and the greens and the tee boxes. And all of the revenues that come in for green fees or membership fees, which are like green fees, then are remitted to the city as part of a use agreement. That's what the city uses to offset the costs to run the mowers and fairways, tee boxes, and greens. The partner, who in this case would be the Alpine Country Club, would then generate their revenues off of food and beverage sales, merchandise sales, cart rentals, and that's how they staff. And you know, if you have an operator there, they might make a little bit of profit at the end of the year. Other cities have done that and have found it effective. The course itself, the playing portion of the course, then, like I said, is maintained by city park staff, really, and it's watered by city water, and that goes beyond the question of, you know, the legality of giving free water, right? Because in a sense, the city would then be collecting all the green fee and type revenues to pay for that. So it is a concept we could explore. It would be different than the way the golf course is operated in the past. And it would require really heightened visibility into the books, the operating books, because the remittance from the operator would be those green fees on a monthly basis.
Another alternative could be amending the lease between the city and the country club to where part of the lease requires the city to provide water. That would be not necessarily providing it free, because it would be providing an exchange of services. in exchange for the country club operating it, maintaining the city-owned land. So that's for this.
And we, up there, we also do pay city taxes. We pay county taxes, we pay school taxes, we pay hospital district taxes, we pay taxes.
I was under the impression that the water you used for watering the greens and that kind of stuff was given to you by the city from their wastewater.
That, no. Part of the golf course, get, when it's available.
When what?
When it's available.
Oh,
There's been a lot of times it's down, so we have to use city water to keep the grass green, you know, to maintain it so people can come out and play.
So my view on this, we have an existing agreement between the city, excuse me, and the golf course that Joe leads. Frankly, what I don't think we as a city want to find ourselves in a situation where it's untenable on one side of that equation, because I don't think that's good for the city. Otherwise, we got a bunch of more parks we got to go take care of anyway. So having a revenue stream and having looked at the numbers, the number of people that come in from outside is, as Joe pointed out, it's good for the city, good for hotels, good for tax revenue, good for sales tax. I don't know what the solution looks like, so I'm not proposing one way or the other, but I think it does make sense to go pull the lease together, take a look, and you all come up
We
with
used to
something
get,
that might make sense.
excuse me, we used to get free water.
I know, Joe, the problem is we can't do that legally.
Well, it was in the old
I know,
agreement.
I know.
It was in the agreement.
Yeah.
It changed.
Yeah.
It should never change, because that was the agreement. And the golf course, I don't know if you all are familiar with the lease, the actual lease,
Yeah.
but the grounds were donated by the Coconuts.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Should the city ever decide that they want to not help and take it back, the grounds will never revert to the city of Alpine. They will revert to the Coconut family. You know, so it's an advantage for the city to help us because, like I said, we bring in revenue to the city throughout the whole year. We bring a lot of revenue.
Don't get me wrong. My view is, we gotta do all we can to make sure the relationship works on both sides effectively. I think the balance we council have is, we don't be viewed as giving something away, and we've got to meet our legal obligations at the same time, making it effective. I mean, you all opened up the pool, and we didn't have a pool.
Yeah.
You know, so my sense is, we ought to go look at what the options are, I don't know what they are.
Well, like Mr. Pond said, in the lease, provide water, not say like free water, but at one time, it was provided by the city. The water was provided to the golf course at no cost. Then we had a water leak behind number 8, and the city came out there to fix it because it was a big water main. And so they fixed it, they set a meter up there to start metering the water and sending us a bill. You know, and whose discretion that was, I don't know. Why, I don't know. You know, but the original lease, the city provided water.
If, you know, if we sign a lease, what, every year?
Well, actually, we should have a 99-year lease. That's why I don't understand if we, you know, because I just became president of the club. And whoever came out here before and talked about the lease and all this stuff, I don't know why they didn't bring the original lease. You know? But we should have a lease for 99 years out there, with all the amenities about the city providing water, you know. We gave the city of Alpine easement to our property for the sewer that feeds the north part of Sol Ross and all around there, around the loop, you know. So that was kind of one of the give and take here. Like I said, I've been part of the country club since 1969, but I've been there since I was a little boy. And when I was a little boy, I didn't have any dealings, or through my high school years, or through when I was going to Soros, did not have any dealings with the leases, or if I was going up there in the management of the country club till recently.
Well, you know, we've got to look at the legalities on that, because there's other entities that also provide services for the city, and they can rather hit the feds. And what I'm afraid of, they could also create a hairball by, well, we're doing this, why don't you give us free water also? Okay? So, we need to look at that original lease, number one. We got to look at the legalities on it, because we just can't give the free water away. I mean, that's, you've got folks out there that struggle day to day, and we still have to charge them water. You know, we've got to maintain the pumps, our tanks and all that, and so we really have to really look at this thing, you know, it's not just a quick fix.
Well, if I remember correctly, at one time, you out there at the country club said you said you will do everything to help,
And
and you haven't done anything?
I haven't done anything because I've never been invited to a board meeting or anything like that. It did help with the contracting.
I wasn't part of that,
Yeah, you weren't part of it, see, I was there.
so you ought to know.
Yeah, no, that was the contract that we signed every year, not the original contract. I don't think I'm that old yet.
Well, I do think that Magoo and Rod and Eric should get together and come up with something and then bring it up to council and we'll move on from there.
Yeah, I will be at the board meeting tomorrow night. I think there's a couple of things that we can look at and explore, and then I'll follow up with Rod and give council a couple different options to look at that make sense.
Because you, like, for years, I mean, we qualify for a hotel tax line, but I approached Jessica last year and couldn't get nothing. So, we do put that in there, that would be another way to help us.
So let's go ahead and just let, like Eric says, let's formulate a game plan and present to council minutes and council's approval.
Yeah.
Free water, I think that's, we're gonna get some legal issues there. You know, but again, that's why we have a city attorney to look into that. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. You talk about having other things at the country club, but every time you go back to golf, do you have billiard tables? Do you have darts?
No.
Do you have ping pong? So you don't have everything. So, I mean, even as a public golf course, not all members of the public are gonna go out there.
Well,
Because we don't have, I don't golf, I don't drink. You know, it's like, what would be there to entice me to go out there other than a big empty room?
Come have a drink, swim.
I just said I don't drink, sir.
We have Cokes, we have.
But I can get that at my house. You don't have to go to the country
If you'd
club.
like to join
I'm
us,
saying there's
you can
nothing
go
to
take a walk
entice me.
You can go walk, take to the grounds for the next right?
And I can walk around Coconut Park.
Well, then, you know what? You've got all the answers yourself.
I understand that, but you're trying to entice people out there. And
There,
if you
it's there.
okay. Thank you, sir.
We're gonna go ahead and move on, and I'll recognize you in a second, John. But let's go ahead and let's let Mr. Zimmer and our city attorney look into that.
Okay. Well,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, as John Kennedy, Ward 5, I just wanted to make a brief comment. As I used to be an operator at the wastewater plant and was the person who would push the button to send the water to y'all. And as we know, the wastewater plant hasn't been functioning optimally lately, but with all these capital improvements that are coming online, we're putting up 400,000 gallons a day of effluent that's going into the ground. And so with the plant operating correctly, we would have plenty of water, and it's good water when the plant works right. So I'd want to remind everyone that that's a really great reuse of the water. But when we send you water that's too chlorinated, that's not going to work very well. So that's been a
it's
problem in
supposed
the
to be
past.
treated water that we can use up there.
Exactly.
And like, you've answered a big question. It's down line, we don't get it, so.
Correct.
If we could get it, we could water the whole golf course. We could get ample water every day.
Again, let's go ahead and let city manager and the city attorney look into that, okay?
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your comments. Okay, Ms. Escobedo.
I wanted to discuss the speed limit, to change it on Gallego Avenue. In front of the, it goes, in front of the community center, it goes from 6th Street. And then it go all the way to First Street. Right now, Magoo just comment that the community center is shut down, and it has been. So to keep it at 20 miles per hour is
Nobody goes to 20 miles an hour, so.
They go 30. So.
When you take it to 30, they'll go 40 then. Just human nature.
340.
And actually, if I
I'm just being
can,
facetious
if
about
I
that.
can add on to this, prior to Eric coming on board, I had 5 different people come in and express their concerns about the speed limit there. Because it actually starts right before the Catholic Church and goes to the end of the community
Yeah,
center.
yes, I know. Poor kid up there.
And they are, I mean, the signs are in the weird places. You would never even know that they're there.
So what we can do is I'll have Daryl Soya complete the traffic study for us. And then we'll work back with Cynthia Salas on the formation of an ordinance. And then if that's acceptable, you can present to council at the next meeting. So that'll be fair.
Oh, yeah. that's okay.
You got your work cut out for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Again, John Kennedy, Ward 5, just a brief comment. Just a quick comment that besides working with speed limits, you know, there's a lot that can be done as far as traffic calming, as on the public works side of things. You can do streetscape improvements, you can have curb treatments. No one really likes speed bumps probably, but there's all kinds of options besides the speed limit, and of course, just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question though. Lucy, are you talking about, what are the streets are you talking about wanting to change it to that whole stretch?
Right.
In front of the church and in front of the park?
Right.
I think she said from
6th to
from
1st.
1st to 6th.
And you want to put it up to 30 miles an hour?
Right, and that's what it used to be.
What is it now?
20.
That's because it was a little daycare.
Because of the
setting.
It was a daycare, okay. I had it backwards. Okay, thank you for asking.
That's not,
I understand.
that's not.
Okay.
Are you talking about the old Alpine Community Center that was a daycare center? You know, that's a center that's owned by the United Methodist Women in New York. And they are in the process of looking at selling it because the daycare is no longer a valuable business for them. So I believe it's closed now.
There's nobody in there.
Okay, good point, Cindy.
So Maria, is the reason you're asking the question because they're in front of Baines Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, okay.
And
that
the
was
church.
And the church, so that was the question, Darryl, when you take a look. You know,
I can tell you right now, one of the problems may be, because of the Catholic Church, they have functions throughout the week.
Yeah.
So that may be a problem. And it actually goes from 1st to 7th.
1st to 7th.
Yes, sir.
Just said that?
And I think the question you're raising, Lucy, is get the speed back up from 1st to 4th.
You could do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Because that way it protects the park and it protects the Catholic Church, which is the high volume area, and you got lots of traffic on when things are going on. That might help with the issue. Okay.
One of the problems with that area as well is because I need more patrolmen. First of all,
Park your car out there.
Yes, sir. I do.
I know you do.
So I'll park right there in front of the community center, just, and it was made as a remark, but the thing I do like to consider is that there is a discretionary speed. I mean, we're not gonna pull somebody over for doing 21 and a 20. So if you consider raising it to 30, then like the comment was made, they're gonna speed up. So if you raise it, if you leave it at 20, you have to consider that you're gonna have that leeway speed, so.
Go up to 25.
I do think that 20 is really, it's,
Oh, nobody follows it anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't follow the 30 speed limit here.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
I was parked a while ago and I was still sitting in my car with my foot on the brake, and a car went past me doing 45. Some of y'all heard me chasing after him.
Thank you very much.
Got it.
Okay, anything else? Okay, let's move on to the action items. To be accompanied by a brief statement of facts, including where funds are coming from, if applicable. Action items limited to 10 per meeting and to be called upon by the mayor or mayor pro tem. Citizens are required to state their name and ward in which they reside. Priority will be given to citizens of Alpine and those who own businesses or property in the city. Individuals who do not live in or own business or property in the city limits of Alpine will be allowed to speak if there's time available. City manager.
So, Mr. Mayor, we do have one action item
That you took.
that we took out of consent agenda. I don't know if you want to put that before. or
Yeah, let's put it before we get out of it.
So it has with the minutes. So, Mr. Mayor, I propose that we approve the minutes that were in the consent agenda with the following edit. And that being remove the words motion all the way to the rest of that paragraph under number 11, executive session, because we're not allowed to make motions in executive session. That motion is in fact documented under action item number 12. That's okay.
And then you need to, I missed, we can hold the minutes because August 20, which is September.
Thank you. So I did miss that one. So, and the other amendment would be, as the city secretary points out, the item number A under 7 should be approved of the minutes from September 4th versus August 20th.
Okay. So,
I'll second that.
second, motion made, second, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Okay, now we'll go to Mr. Zimmer.
Sir. We now have the action item for discuss and consider take appropriate action on the second and final reading of ordinance 2019-08-01, an ordinance of the city of Alpine, Texas, expressing the voting role of the council and mayor in a vote to hire or terminate a city manager, repeal or severability, effective date, and notice of hearing. We had the public hearing earlier, and then this is the second reading of the ordinance.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the second final reading of ordinance 2019-08-01 as written.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion's made, second, any discussion?
Yes, I do have a question. On the ordinance, section 4, a little clarity there. What does it say?
Section 4, Councilor Rivas,
Or is this to the,
is sort of a normal catch-all provision that's in all ordinances that talk about if anything in this ordinance conflicts with something else, then the two things that might have some conflict are supposed to be read together. It's not referring to anything specific. That's just a legal term that you put in things. So if something in one place conflicts with something in one place else, you try to make them both work. So it's not referring to the fact that anything else is in conflict, because the purpose of this ordinance is to clarify the fact that the charter makes plain that the mayor doesn't. Yes.
Okay, clarified. Any more? Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, like sign, motion carries. Thank you very much. City manager.
Sir. Item 2 is discuss, consider, and take appropriate action to approve the Alpine Casperas Airport ramp grant for fiscal year 2019-2020. This is the annual routine maintenance grant. We get 50% credit for what we spend. So every year we have a ramp grant. It's just to approve us accepting those dollars from TxDOT Aviation.
Entertain a motion.
So, Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the ramp grant for fiscal year 2019-20, a specific amount of $30,000, of which the state would share $15,000 of that, and we, the sponsor, would pay $15,000.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, motion's made and second. Any discussion?
That's in the budget here.
Any more? Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, item 10, city council comments and answers. Start on the right.
Thanks for sticking around. Interesting meeting.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank Dr. Cody, everybody else.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the meeting.
Thank you all very much for being here this evening. Good evening. And
Mr. Mayor, I move that pursuant to Texas Government Code 51.07, consultation with the attorney, 55.1.074, to deliberate and discuss with regard to employees that are moving into executive session, cover three items. First is to discuss
I know the speed limit. I know you're working on that.
Besides, we'll do the city manager. Second is discuss the city secretary's annual report. Third is discuss the various salaries.
I'll second.
made and second.
But you're so friendly and everything. It's so nice.
None, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, like sign.
Sheriff Ronnie is Sheriff
Motion
Ronnie.
carries.
You know?
Take a quick break.
So thanks.
You're all done good. Okay.
Mr.
Yes,
Mayor, I move that relative to the action of compensation for Cynthia Salas during her period as the interim city manager, that we move to approve an additional 2 weeks of vacation for Cynthia Salas, and in addition, provide her a one-time supplement of $5,000.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? See none, all those in favor, right hand. Opposed, like sign, motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, relative to taking action on the annual performance review for the city secretary, Cynthia Salas, we have discussed with the city manager and move that there is no action be taken.
Okay,
Second.
motion's made and second. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. No action taken. Thank you. Passes. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, relative to item number 3, discuss the grievance update council has, and I move that we take no action.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and second. All those in favor, any discussion on this? We already have. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, like sign, motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adjourn.
I second.
And that's not debatable.
You'll have to turn it